Welcome back to Grandma Willow's story tree. Today's story is about a girl with hair so long, so golden, so incredibly long that it reached all the way down from her tower window to the ground below. And today, Rapunzel is going to discover something quite wonderful about that hair. Are you ready? Because this is the story of Rapunzel and the very tangled hair. Rapunzel had lived in her tall tower for as long as she could remember. There were no stairs, no ladder, and the door was locked from the outside. The only way anyone got in or out was by climbing Rapunzel's golden hair, which the witch used as a ladder when she came to visit. Rapunzel spent her days painting the walls, reading every book in her small library, and brushing her hair for the 647th time. One afternoon, she was mid-brush when a thought floated quietly into her head. She stopped brushing. She looked at her hair. She tugged it gently, strong as rope. She dangled it from her window long enough to reach the ground. This hair, she thought slowly, is basically a rope, a very long, very strong rope that I am attached to. She sat very still for a moment. I could use this rope to climb down by myself. Rapunzel moved very carefully and very purposefully. She braided her golden hair around the most solid stone block in the tower room. She tested the knot 3 times. Then she climbed to her window, took a very deep breath, and began to lower herself down the outside of the tower and Oberon for the very first time. The wind was cold on her face. Her arms were shaking just a little, but she kept going. Halfway down, she heard a small, desperate sound from the rose bushes that grew up the tower wall. A tiny bird was tangled in the thorny rose bushes, wings caught fast, struggling to free herself. "Oh," said Rap, "you are stuck. Hold still. I will help." Very carefully, using a pin from her braid, she worked at the thorns until the bird's wings came free. The bird ruffled her feathers, shook her head, and then very deliberately hopped onto Rapunzel's shoulder. "Better?" asked Rapunzel. The bird chirped once, warmly. "Come on then," said Rapunzel with a smile. "We are both getting out of here," and she finished climbing down to the soft green grass below. Rapunzel's feet touched the grass. She looked up at the wide open sky, so much bigger than the square of it she had seen from her window. She looked at the trees, and the wildflowers, and the far-off hills, and the little village in the valley. She breathed in the outside air for the first time in years, and she smiled the biggest smile of her whole life. She found the village that afternoon. The people there were kind. They gave her soup and a warm place to sleep, and in the morning they showed her their enormous library. Rapunzel did not look back at the tower. She had all the world ahead of her now, and a small bird on her shoulder who knew every path through the forest. The end. And remember, sometimes the thing that can set you free is something you already have. You just need to look at it differently. Come back to Grandma Willow's story tree. There are more adventures waiting for you.